All right, today we're diving into a story that honestly feels like it's pulled straight from a forgotten myth. We're talking about an absolutely astonishing underwater discovery, one that's completely rewriting what we thought we knew about a lost culture and its sudden, silent end. So yeah, let's get right into it.
And this line from the source material, wow, it just perfectly sets the mood, you know? In a harbor where waves murmur like old witnesses. This tells you right away, we are not talking about some sterile lab or a dusty archive. No, this is a place where history feels alive, where it feels like the ocean itself is trying to tell us something.
So, what's at the absolute heart of this discovery? It's a man-made causeway. A literal road, lost beneath the waves. Just think about that for a second. This isn't just a few scattered pots or tools. No, this is a direct, physical path leading right into a forgotten civilization. And believe me, as the researchers started to follow that path, they had no idea just how complex a story they were about to uncover.
Okay, so a sunken road is one thing, but what clues did it actually hold? Let's dive into those first discoveries, the ones that started to paint a picture of who these mysterious people really were.
So right off the bat, three things really stood out. First, get this, the stones of the causeway had these carvings that actually emitted a faint, kind of otherworldly glow. Second, they found these incredibly intricate marks that looked like they were for some kind of ritual. And third, they found artifacts made from stuff that had to have come from thousands of miles away. That points to a pretty sophisticated trade network, right?
But let's focus on those ritual marks for a second, because this is where things get really fascinating. These were not just some pretty patterns carved for decoration. Oh no. The complexity, the way they were repeated systematically, it all pointed to a society with organized beliefs, a really deep spiritual life, and a complex understanding of their place in the world.
And then, the researchers had this absolutely stunning realization. The entire causeway, its whole purpose, was tied to a precise natural clock. See, it was only usable, only even visible, during low tide. The theory is that they performed their rituals right when certain stars and planets aligned, which might have been what activated those glowing carvings we talked about. And then, like clockwork, the high tide would roll back in, and the entire sacred site would just vanish beneath the waves. This wasn't an accident. This was a powerful, deliberate cycle, connecting their entire culture to the cosmos and the ocean.
So, okay, we're building this picture of a vibrant, incredibly intelligent culture, right? They're totally in tune with the tides, the stars, the whole universe, which, makes the central mystery here even more chilling. Where did they all go?
And that's the real puzzle here. On the one hand, you have this thriving culture connected to distant shores through trade, connected to the heavens through these complex rituals, and on the other hand, a complete and total vanishing act. There's no evidence they slowly died out or packed up and moved. Just one day they were there, and the next, silence. And that's the question that just haunted the research team. How could a civilization that was so deeply in tune with the sea just get erased by it? All the usual suspects, a giant tsunami, a plague, a devastating war, none of them fit the evidence they were finding. The answer, they started to suspect, had to be somewhere deeper.
The causeway itself ended up giving them their next big clue. The team finally realized it wasn't just a road to a sacred spot. It was a pointer. It was aimed like an arrow, directly at a deep chasm in the seabed. And this, right here, is where the whole exploration took a really dramatic turn. This was a descent into the true unknown.
And as the source material puts it, the deeper they go, you can just imagine it, right? The pressure building, the light from the surface completely gone. This wasn't just a physical dive anymore. It felt like they were journeying back through time itself.
The more the water itself seemed to be breathing the past back into the present. The explorers talked about this really eerie feeling, like the water wasn't just hiding the past, it was preserving it, almost breathing this lost moment back to life all around them.
And then they found it. Right there at the bottom of the chasm was a sealed structure. After some incredibly careful work, they finally managed to breach the entrance. Can you just imagine that moment? The lights cutting through the darkness, total silence, just waiting to see what was inside. But what they found inside, well, it wasn't a library of ancient scrolls, and it wasn't a vault full of gold. It was something way more profound, and honestly, a lot more mysterious.
Inside that vault was a single object, just one thing, a relic sitting there, completely pristine and untouched.
They have no idea what it's made of. Its origin is a total mystery. And while everything outside that chamber was clearly shattered by some cataclysm, this thing, it was perfect. The reports say its very presence had this deeply unsettling, almost haunting effect on everyone who saw it.
So, you see, this relic didn't answer any questions, it completely shattered them. It implied that the cataclysm, the disappearance of this entire culture, their cosmic rituals, everything was somehow connected to this one single object, and in a way that just defies all rational explanation.
Ultimately, what this discovery proves is that you just can't separate the story of this civilization from the ocean that claimed it. The sea isn't just their tomb, it's the guardian of their greatest secret. It holds the key to their existence, and maybe the key to their destruction too.
And that leaves us with this incredible question to ponder. You know, we tend to think of history as something written down, stories, records, words on a page. But what happens when a civilization's most profound secret isn't a story at all, but a silent object left behind? A silent message, just waiting for thousands of years at the bottom of the sea.